you see in there, there's a broken thing. So it was out, it was a couple of days ago. Didn't film it, kind of was going to go up and test some different kinds of tyres, and it was soaking wet start to the day. I had a bunch of grippies. Anyway, the rain was soaking wet, so I just thought I'll not bother filming. But it dried up towards the end of the day, and I was running like 10 psi. I had the shock set at full soft, and it was quite good. There's like some really wet bits. You could throw it in on massive angle, and then like the entries to the corner, just coming into the S's at Driftland, it was totally dry, so it was right cool. You come in like pretty much over 90. The back of the car would catch the dry stuff, and it would just bring the nose in, and then you could drive straight. I kept doing that, but it started drying up in some other places, and there was too much grip. Car literally just annihilated the clutch. It just couldn't. I was like, what's going on? It seemed to be snapping straight really quickly, and then I'd just be trying to accelerate, and it just didn't feel right. And then I just started smelling it. I tried to I then went to a full like dry setup, and then just started to try and up the tire pressures. But it's got an M5 clutch in it. It was just like a standard M5 clutch, and that's dead, totally dead. So today, I need to get a box off, which isn't that difficult. A few Allen keys, so a couple of those, and then this out, unbolt this, and it's good. So just having a look, first thing I need to get out is that clutch, slave cylinder, that needs to come out. Basically just that pipe, just so I can get clearance on that Allen key bolt. So take that out first, and then I'm going to go around and do these bolts. So that bolt, this is super tight. That one, you can see that. Oh, that one there, proper tight to get in at that. I was trying to use extensions and things, but the solution is just this. It can be adjustable with Allen bolt. I don't know, what do you call that, an Allen? Whatever it is. And then, hey, I can just slide that on there. And then, ding, ding. Easy. So that's a gearbox out. So this is, I use a BMW box, just like my 36. If anyone needs a number, don't know, you can read that. That's the one I use. That's from a 36. It's the ZF box. Like you get them in 328s, BMW 328s. I think they're in M3s as well. And then for my clutch, I got this clutch with the car, or with the bot engine and gearbox. It's a standard M5 clutch from what I've been told. Sucks. I thought it was going to be up to the job, but it's not. So I need to take that off. It's not the cleanest job in the world doing this. I was a proper bit of a dick. It's out, but I had some Allen key bolts that holding it in, and two of them they rounded off, so I had to angle grind out. I just cut the head off each bolt, so I've still got in the flywheel. That was one of the bolts, so that's cut. So now there's not hopefully going to be so much force on it, and there's another one. I'll hopefully just be able to get a set of mold grips on and undo those. Yeah, she's not looking fantastic. Pretty cooked. So I need to take this off, and then I then what I'm doing is I'm going to send it all off to a company called CG Clutches, and they will measure everything and provide me with the right clutch at the right distance for the gearbox and everything. So they need the adapter plate. I don't have time to get mucky and get some more of that crap off. So now I've turned the actual phone light onto full. See things a bit better. Just gonna see, like, so for locking off the engine so it doesn't turn when you're undoing those these bolts. Like, I've just got a pry bar, and you put it through. So that's that wheel there. That's the one that your starter motor goes on. That's like from the auto one, and then see your the adapter here spaces that out to the right size. Anyway, what I've done is I've just like put the pry bar through and jammed it in. It locks it off, and then nice big bar like this. Pop it on, and then super easy. Well, it's a lot easier because I did loosen them off a bit, but anyway, that makes it way easier than what do you call it? It'd be easier if I had like a rugger dugger, like a big gun, but I don't. I'm getting one soon. Wish I had it now, but I don't. Anyway, see, once there's no tension on these, super easy to get out. That's the adapter plate out. Nicely, well, easy. Once those bolts came out, I thought I might end up having to take this off as well, but because I did not put this car together, I didn't know how it went together. I thought this might have been part of the original. What do you call it? The original 1UZ, but it's not. So this comes out as one plate. And I think this kit I got with the engine. It's a Drift Moto one. I don't know if they still sell them or that, but basically what it's showing you, so that allows you to bolt to the flywheel, to the crank, and then you've got the center bearing. So that means that your gearbox, I'm probably getting all the names of these things wrong. Anyway, it's the bit that goes on the end of there. So that means that holds your the shaft of the gearbox in place, and that's just a standard one, standard BMW one. Then this just spaces it all out enough so that your the clutch engages properly. But look at the colours in it. It's quite nice. A little rainbow. Don't know if you can see it. In real life, it's quite nice. I like it. But what I need to do now is I send all of this, that bit, and that bit, and I send that all to CG, and I measure it all up, and then I'm gonna go for something around about I think about 650 Newton meters was the plan. Now, the reason I've done that is, or the reason I'm going with that number is, I spoke to a lovely guy called Stu Jones at BDC. I did a wee interview with him, and if I can make the link thing work, it's going to be somewhere around here. And he's got a 1UZ turbocharged and standard engine internals. So what I'm aiming for that thing to be, and he's making about 620 Newton meters on his, and so that is a target to go for. So I need to send all that off tomorrow, and fingers crossed in a week I get it all back, because I need it, because I've got the Scottish Drift Championship happening and I need that car working. Otherwise I'm buying some cheap clutch to throw in it just to make it last a day, which I don't want to do. Look what I've got. Super sexy clutch. Ah, look at that. Twin disc 1, 2. So that is a clutch from CG Motorsport, and those guys absolutely killed it for me. I told them like it had an event on, and they were just like amazing, so nice. I sent them down, so to get the clutch, so they built this clutch for this jalopy, and what I had to send them is I had to send them my adapter plate. I sent them my original clutch, which this is not, and the other thing I didn't send them though, but if you are going to send them, was the release bearing. Mine was pretty standard, so we were able to get around that. We had to do some measurements though, just to make sure, so fingers crossed that's going to fit too. But so if you're ever doing it yourselves, send them the release bearing, the clutch, and your flywheel. So like they've machined it all, and like so like my old ones used to drill into there, and this looks so nice, and it's blue, just like my car. It's kind of blue and brown, isn't it? Still needs a wash. Right, let's get this fitted. So that is flywheel on. So all the bolts done up to a 45 Newton meters, and then a little bit of this stuff. Put some thread lock on it. So one on each of these bolts, and then just need to give it a wee clean. So spray it with a bit of brake cleaner, then give it a wee wipe on the surface of the flywheel to be absolutely clean, so there's no contaminants on it, because I don't want it slipping again. So I need to line the clutch perfectly. Normally you'd have a tool like this, but this is for an SR20, but get rid of that. So this is what you can do to modify something to work. So all that is a socket with some tape around it. So what you do is you just pop it in there. Well, that gives you, make sure your tape is just tight enough that just goes in, and then you can put your clutch plate on there, and your clutch plate, so you need enough tape to go around there, so that part is the same size as in there. Now, this all has to go on in Pacific order. It's all marked, like you've got like flywheel side, the Pacific order. So you just got to be really careful, because there's multiple parts to this. You got 1, 2, another disc in there, and on this bit. So you got to make sure all that goes in the right order. Here's the first one. So you just slide over there. That holds it nice and centered. Oh, it's a bit heavy for what I've got, but it's gonna have to do. So we got the plate on now. Right, I had to modify, like, so my little, what do you call it, socket didn't work. It wasn't long enough. Because there's 2 plates in here, the engagement that goes on the shaft and the gearbox is way longer. So what I've done is I've taken like an extension bar, and so the small bit, that bit, goes in the little main bearing in there. Oh, I probably can't see because of the reflection. And then each one of those is going on the clutch plate. So it slides in there. And that should keep it nice and centered when I'm tightening it all up. So that is the CG Motorsport 555 Super Sport in. Now I've torqued all these up. These are all done to 25 foot-pounds. And the next thing to do is I've got to get the gearbox on. And this gearbox, so luckily I've got a ramp. That helps matters. And Darth Vader. But this is going to be a proper pain in the ass getting this in. It's not the biggest box. It doesn't look the biggest box, but it's heavy enough to be a pain in the ass to move around. So this is going to be really fiddly. This is the kind of thing you really want a mate around to help you with. So I'm going to try by myself. If not, I'll have to call in reinforcements. So had a bit of an issues. Right, this is like the second time, maybe third time I've tried to get this thing in. So what I was finding is the splines were not, oh sorry, the shadow there. The splines were not lining up. So I have got hold of, I'll get some light on the matter, got hold of my coilover spanner, and what I've been doing is I'm just putting that in and lining up the splines for both, what do you call it, so the splines are lined up for both plates. That makes them nice and lined up. And then put my homemade alignment tool in again. There we go. Now I need to tighten up. What I was finding is that it was going in through one, but then jamming on the, then this bit was, oh, see, get light on again. It's dark in here. Then it was jamming up on the spline, so it was only getting in so far, and then it was jamming on the next plate. So hopefully that'll fix it. So it's a new day. I gave up about 11:30 last night trying to get that clutch aligned because all my ideas were rubbish. And I get Big Stu from Driftland gave me this. So that is the input shaft of a gearbox. So basically, as I was saying last time, that bit cut off. So I have now done this. So you put that through here, and then I've mounted the clutch with that on in there. So this then centers it now, and it also keeps your splines all nice and aligned. It's been a bit of a, and then I've tightened it up really slowly just to keep it as nice and centered as possible. She's in. So just to make it a little bit easier to get in here, I had, just to get these bolts in and out, I've had to drop the subframe down, which may move the whole engine down. It just gives you a bit more space up here to get ratchets and things like that. I was using some really long extension bars to get right up to the top, but everything's now bolted back up. Got a couple of these bolts to do, and then it's time to test it. Clutch testing. That'll be it working. And then it didn't work. So that crap burnout you seen, I I should have sent it, and then I would have known I had a problem. So the car, I was getting her ready. The next day I had the next round of the Scottish Drift Championship. There was a chance I was going to get filmed for Red Bull TV. Becky, who has a show on Red Bull TV called Drift Queen, was up. Becky does, you'll have seen her doing the interviews on Drift Masters. Anyway, got the car up there, got out. I managed to qualify. I even at one point thought, look, I'd straightened over the line, so I wasn't even too sure if I was going to. And that was the story of the day. The car just did not want, like, the clutch just kept slipping, and it kept straightening, and I thought I'd done something wrong with the install, but it turned out I hadn't. I gave the car to Mark at MG Autotech because I was just like, oh, I've been an idiot. I've done something stupid, and I didn't want to break anything. I wanted him. It's a brand new thing, cost me a decent amount of money, so I wanted him to go have a look at it. And he pulled it apart, and this was wrong. So this was the one that was in it. Basically, this was too big. Because CG had built me a new clutch plate that was bigger than the original, so obviously it moves the whole clutch plate further out, but the bearing they supplied was about the same size as the one that was in there. So what that meant was that we had some pressure, just a bit of pressure that was on the clutch. So you always had, it's like you almost had your foot just on the clutch, which meant you started putting some force through her, and the clutch just didn't hold. So CG have made up a new one of those, which is in there. Smaller. I think they now do custom BMW release bearings, and she's mint. Totally third gear clutch dump on her, and I've managed to shatter a rear cup on one of the shafts, so it definitely holding up. So yeah, if you're ever doing a clutch and you're going to get something custom parts can always be a little bit of an issue. Send them everything. And thanks guys for watching. So if you could please give it a subscribe, give the channel a subscribe, give the video a like. I'm going to be doing a couple of new things. Next video, going to be doing, I'll probably have a wee look over that thing, go over it and just tell you exactly what's been done to it. I've got a new race van that I'm going to be doing a conversion on, just so I've got some living space in it. And then the next project is sort of hidden under here. I'll not tell you what it is, but that's coming soon.